Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing good. So been a crazy week. I'm kind of tired. So I had like two sleepless nights this week. I mean, I tried to get to sleep, but after about an hour of turning and tossing in bed, I just decided to get up and work on the idea. The reason why I couldn't sleep was because the ideas were like troubling my mind and were like just running around inside my head. And I was like, okay, well, I prayed. I didn't get to sleep. Well, I just stood up and started working on the ideas. But one thing that's good with this week though is that I've been able to get like a huge bit of clarity. You might see some notes behind me. Some of those things are just like calculations that I made for the goal that I have this year, and that's like a contract over there that I have with myself. I'm probably going to have much more of them. So I hope my homestyle administrators don't get mad at me. Anyways, yeah, so I mean, like I said yesterday, I'm stopping like pretty much a lot of things. Right now, if you know any founders out there who are struggling to get customers, what I'm studying right now, and trying to understand and build solutions for startup founders, especially in SaaS industries that are struggling to get customers. So I'm trying to figure out how can I get them customers. So if you know any SaaS founders that would be able to give 15 minutes, you can just link me to them, and I would love to have a chat with them and figure out those problems and present them solutions for free. Yeah, and they can just run with that and see how well it works for them. So that's what I'm working on right now. And I mean, of course, I'm also still writing one article every week. I'm thinking of doing an SEO ice that I saw yesterday, basically SEO stuff on my website to kind of blow it up and get more newsletter subscribers. Um, yeah, so I'm kind of figuring out all those things right now. I don't know if you've heard this song. I think it's by Forest something. Pretty awesome song actually. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say, the sun is shining down on me. Birds are singing praise, and so on and so forth. Awesome song actually. I've heard it a couple of times now. Amazing song. And he just freestyled it, and yeah, that's creativity at the max. That's awesome. Um, but I just take some of those songs sometimes. Like, I think on Thursday morning, I woke up and I was pretty unmotivated, and I just played a song, bunch of songs by Don Moen who I love. He played. I think I played God with us so close to us. I used to listen to Don Moen. I mean, we listened to Don Moen a lot when we were growing up with because of my dad loved his songs. So the day ago, I was also listening to Jim Reeves, who we also listened to. It's the guy that sang songs like "Across the Bridge, There's No More Sorrow." So some of those songs just get me in the mood and motivate me. And yeah, so finding those things are pretty important. Yeah, and I noticed that actually I've read 14 books this year, which is pretty crazy. And one thing I'm noticing actually is that I can finish most books in 2 days. It's just sometimes I get lazy in the midst of it. Like I'm reading books that are 300 pages, 290 pages in like 2 days. Like Million Dollar Weekend, I finished it in 2 days. There was one I read by Yonggi Cho, Successful Home Sale Groups. I finished it in 2 days. There was another that I read, There's a Miracle in the House by Tommy Barnett. I think I finished that in maybe like 4 days or so. But I think basically the muscle is just being built more and more as I read to help me finish books like a lot faster. And I'm getting faster at speed reading. I'm getting faster at being able to, just skip over passages that don't bring any value, just like filler passages, which is pretty awesome. Yep. Um, so, I mean, one of the thoughts that I'm having right now is like I'm doing a lot of work, and like the clarity I got yesterday was basically because my mentor just spoke to me about that. And one thing that's very important, I'm realizing is going to be very important as much as I read books, watch podcasts, watch sermons, and a lot of stuff like that to get to the goal. I know I've not mentioned the goal. I'm intentionally not mentioning the goal, but I have a goal. It's financial. You know. I just say it's financial stability, even though that's not the word I would use, and so even though I'm reading books, doing all those things, learning the kingdom principles to do those things, and that's pretty awesome. One thing that I'm missing right now is, or maybe not missing, but I don't have it as much as I should, is look for the people that have already succeeded at this, and I mean consume their material, but get one-on-one contact with them and be able to just speak to them and get their wisdom and implement their wisdom. Because I mean, even the scripture says this, Jeremiah 6:16, it says that when you reach the crossroad, ask for the ancient path and follow that path. It says this similarly also in Hebrews chapter 6, be ye followers of them who through faith and patience have obtained the promise. So the idea is that Paul said this also in 2 Corinthians, that should be 11:1. It says, be followers of me as I am a follower of Christ. So even through the scripture, we could see that there were instances of growth by looking to those that have gone ahead. So it's one of the things that I'm looking for right now, understanding. Because I've learned a bunch of things from like millionaires and billionaires. One of the things is I have to understand sales. So I'm currently reading a book that I started today, The Psychology of Persuasion, Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. And one of the amazing things that I just learned is the ability of because, which I'm going to try and use. I'm actually thinking of combining it with one of the challenges in the $1 Million Weekend, because one of the challenges in the $1 Million Weekend was to build your asking muscle. So basically, you just go to maybe like a store, a coffee shop, and say, can I get 10% discount on that? And usually, of course, they'll say no, but if you add because, you might very well get me the discount. And there's actually an experiment that I'm running right now to better the quality of my videos and stuff like that. And I've actually got a positive response. And I'll fill you in once I get that running up. Yeah. But I mean, right now I'm a bit stressed. I'm trying to rest a bit more. But then we keep on moving, we keep on pushing, yeah, and figure things out. I think that's really the goal right now. Just figure out how to get these things working. Yeah, so there's not that crazy much that I did today, but I'm just figuring things out, and yeah, I know I'll get to the goal. I don't think I have anything else to say today, but I would say read. Okay, but let's just say this as a last thing. One of the things that every person who wants to get ahead in life must get good at is multi-step thinking. And I say this because, and so for instance, and my mom is going to watch this. I didn't even know she was watching. But my mom is going to watch this and going to talk again because we just spoke this night, and she was like, "Oh, this, oh, that, oh, that." But anyways, one of the things that you must get really good at is multi-step thinking and multivariate analysis, and being able to think wide. What are these? So basically, multivariate analysis is basically being able to look at how different things affect different things. For instance, in calculus, we have single variable calculus and we have multiple variable calculus, which is in multiple variable calculus. This is where we come into the realm of partial differential equations. And so this basically means that we look at how, and then we come into operations like, curls and rotors, which basically are trying to measure the gradient of a field, the rotation of a field, how much a field is a source, and all those kind of things. But basically, we start from a place of when you're in single variable calculus, you're basically just trying to see. So for instance, velocity is how distance changes over time. So that's the x dt. But then when you come into multi-variable calculus, now you're thinking about how time affects each of the axes. You're thinking about, there's some pretty crazy stuff. There are theorems that I never even really understood. But the idea of it now is not mathematical. So the idea of multivariate analysis here is, I'm saying, get into a mindset where you're not limited to, oh, this is how this works, but you really, you won't really understand the full scope of things. You won't understand everything that could happen. I just finished The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, and he was saying there that risk is what is left over after you've thought about everything that could go wrong. And that's just the reality of it. Things will still go wrong. And like one of the things that I was saying is losing money. Like I've lost a bit of money at the start of this year trying to invest in some business and work some things. But I realized that, losing money at the start of business or at any point really is you are paying the cost of ignorance. That's just it. So once you pay the cost of that ignorance, you learn from it. You are only in trouble if you don't learn from it. So you can't fully anticipate everything, but as much as you can, think wide, multivariate analysis, think of the things that could affect it. Then